Welcome to Lost Culture, the one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Aston, and today we're going to do a review and a recap for The Walking Dead Season 7. Alright, so this Walking Dead episode is actually really great. I love Negan as a character. He as a character is just amazing. I love the way that he's ruthless. He doesn't really care about feelings. All he really cares about getting his point across and getting discipline. He wants you to fall in line. He doesn't really care about anything else. And we see that in this episode. Oh my God, I love Negan. Because definitely coming off of last season for me personally, I think last season was a downer. I really didn't enjoy it at all. It was kind of too slow for me. But with this season premiere, it basically was forgiven for everything they did last season. I instantly forgave them just like that. Now, with that being said, we get to see the whole crew is basically tied up. We get to see Negan actually chose 2 victims this episode. And yes, it took a while for us to run. I think it took about 30 minutes before we even got to see who the victims were. And at first I was like, oh my God, they would make us wait to the end of the episode just to figure out who it was. But they really didn't make us wait. We see when he comes back on, we see Rick is still not really all the way in line how Negan wants him to be. So Negan basically puts him in the truck. Not the truck, but the van. They drive off. We see they drove back off to, if you remember from the season finale, it was a road with the burning logs and the guy hanging. So we went back to that location. We see Negan is making jokes and everything. He even tempts Rick to actually try him. And he does it. We see Rick actually gets up, he grabs the hatchet and goes for Negan. Negan obviously is prepared. He was planning on doing it. He steps up, he has the gun, and we see Rick basically just steps back down it was I love Negan. Negan is they needed a character like Negan. Especially this is a good transition. I think it would have been a great transition from the mayor to Negan. But we get to see this. We get to see Negan has his whole crew around while he's just sitting here and talking. This whole episode is really just Negan sitting in front of the old crew that baiting them on, getting them to do this, getting them to do that. And we see nobody really fell for it except for, not really fell for it, but no one really got triggered except for Daryl. We see when Rick goes off and tells him he's going to kill him, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow. And that's when Negan goes, puts him in the van, they go out on a trip. We see he throws the axe on top of the van. And he makes Rick go out for it. He lets Rick know, look, you're mine, this axe is mine. Now you go out there and get my axe. And he does it. We see he throws him out there. I was wondering why it was so foggy. I didn't understand, why is it so foggy right now? And obviously it was the smoke from the logs burning. And we get to see all that going on. While that going on, we see Rick is fighting zombies. We see Negan is actually protecting Rick at certain points. We see that's a real hectic scene. We get to see Rick is on top of the van. He's contemplating what he's going to do. We see he's having flashbacks of every character. We didn't really get to know who it was. We see they go from character to character. And once he tells them, look, either you get my axe or I'm going to kill everybody back at the site. And then we see that he's hitting we see every character get hit. So it makes sense to the rumors that everybody heard was that they actually filmed every character being killed by Negan so they can cover up the secret. And they actually used that footage in here. We see he tells them either you do it or I'm gonna kill the whole crew. And we see each individual being hit with the baseball bat. I was glad to see that, and it made it a lot more thrilling. It was a great episode overall. Now, going through other points, we see Daryl gets upset from the death of Abraham. He actually attacks Negan. And once he does that, Negan told him, if anybody gets out of line, it's okay to cry, it's okay to yell, it's okay to breathe, all those things. but you tried anything else, I'm going to kill another one. And for a second, we thought, I thought, I'm like, oh my God. He was like, what did he say? What was his words? The first one's free. And that's and like, forget who the first one was. I guess that was Rick. And he said, after that, it's going to cost you. And for that, it was Glenn. They chose to kill Glenn. R.I.P. to Glenn. Like, I couldn't believe they killed Glenn. And it was, it was crazy. But besides that, it was definitely a great episode. I love how this Negan's character was. This one's kind of short because not really too much happened into it. But once I get a better rhythm going on with The Walking Dead, we're going to start getting better plot points. But this episode, it was great to see how everybody reacted from it. I love when they said, oh, you guys thought you were going to grow old together. They went to the cutscene of the whole crew sitting around the table, real Fast and the Furious reminiscent. We see Abraham, we see Glenn at the table with his son, and obviously it was a glimpse in the future where everybody expected to get. Cause we even see I forget I'm slipping her name at the top right now, but like Abraham's girlfriend is actually pregnant too. If you actually pay close attention, and we see the baby's already born. We see everybody sitting around the table. Carl, everybody's good. Now, going back to the crew, we get to see once Rick and Negan get back to the campfire or the camp or whatever you want to call it. He wasn't really satisfied with the behavior that Rick was giving off. So we see he pulls Carl out to the middle. He draws the line on Carl. I knew exactly what he was going to do when he made like the improvised tourniquet over Carl's arm. Like when he squeezed it real tight and asked him, did it hurt? And Carl said no. I like, oh, he about to go like, he about to cut his arm off. He's about to hit him with a blood diamond. And it was crazy that nobody else saw this coming. And we see he actually puts Carl face down. We see this is the first time we actually get to see Rick honestly react. Rick is like broken down. I don't know if Rick's pretending or what, but this moment I really believe Rick. We see Rick is trying whatever he can to stop this from happening. We see Carl actually tell his dad to do it. And I was feeling like I didn't know Rick was going to do it. We see Rick getting ready to do it. I was thinking Negan was going to grab his hand at last second when he's about to swing down. And he doesn't do it he just stops him before he actually swings the axe and let him know, look, next time next time I tell you to do something, do it. And it was such an emotional episode. Now, obviously we lost Abraham and we lost Glenn. We see when he hits Abraham takes the first one. He tells him to suck his balls. Pretty badass way to go out. Then we get to Glenn. Glenn takes his hit and is instantly out of it. We see his forehead is caved in. We see his eyes popped out. This is just real graphic scene. It was kind of hard to watch for a moment. And it was just crazy how Negan was laughing about it, joking about it. And we see the whole crew is just tears and everything. We see Maggie is in shock. She can't believe that Glenn is dead. And she doesn't even want, it is sad, she doesn't even want to leave with the crew. She just wants to walk back by herself. I felt so bad for her. She's already in the zombie apocalypse. Now she's a single mom. It's going to be rough for her. Rough. I don't know how we're going to get out of it. Especially since they took Daryl. Boy, this is going to be a long season. I actually, like I said, I enjoyed this episode, so I'm definitely going to be back next week. I'm going to be going on. Now, our survivor of the week will have to go to Negan. Yes, this is his first episode where he gets survivor of the week. And I got to give it to him. I love how he was just blatantly ruthless. He didn't really care. He let everybody know how he is, how he wants to be respected, and how he wants things to work. Either you get with it or you're dead. There's no questions. There's no other question. Now, when my reason I give it to him because when he attacked them, the way he was just taunting them and everything, the jokes he did to Glenn, the way he went to Abraham. Even when Daryl punched him, he was just laughing it off. So I love all these things going on like, all together. And that's really all we have for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with everything we're doing at Lost_Culture TV. You can follow us on Instagram at Lost_Culture. Or you can just follow me on Instagram at Saint_Aston. And as always, stay lost.